Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you, sharing our experience for this second Smart City Hub Citizens World Summit, The City We Need. I am Patricia Fraga. I am an architect and urban planner. I am the executive director at Abayomi Academy and the founder and chief happiness officer at Abayomi. I am also the co-author of the Abayomi methodology. Today, I want to share with you some ideas that we have been discussing since 2020 about building smart environments and promoting happiness in a post-pandemic context. In this presentation, I will address a little bit about the urban reality before the pandemic, including the smart cities reality. What changed with the pandemic in the last 2 years? We'll talk about creating smart and happy environments, and I want to share some attitudes that we believe are important to start changing our environments and cities today. 2020 was the year that made us stop. What we observed since then was a big change in our environments, in our cities, in our jobs, in our way of life, in our relationships, in our society. And we are constantly discussing how to live, how to build smart space, and how we can be happy and help to promote happiness in the new world context and with all the changes that we are facing. So, when we think about the reality of our cities before the pandemic, a lot of topics could be discussed. But we would like to focus on the ones more related to this talk. When we talk about smart cities, about smarter homes, we realize that the focus is very much related to technology. A smart city is that highly technological highly connected city where we have access to everything in the city at the touch of our fingers, on the touch of the cell phone. We have the houses with smart equipment. We can just say what we want and everything will be in our apps, in our small devices. We are used to hanging out with a lot of friends in crowded environments. We are used to a lot of traffic in our daily lives. We are used to crowded urban areas and public transportation. But that didn't mean that we were happy, collectively speaking. It didn't mean that we were happy even in smart cities, even in smart homes. We already observed before the pandemic a high rate of stress and burnout, high rate of depression, suicides, despite the financial investment that was being made in smart cities and for this increasingly developed technology. So the pandemic arrived and the world stopped in 2020. We stopped. We had to change the way we live. We had to stay indoors. We had to close ourselves at home, go back to our own world. We could no longer be going to external environments. We had to be content with our environment close to our home, and many transformations took place, each one of us living our own transformations. We realized during this pandemic period that some things were valued more and other things had to really change. It was necessary to pay more attention to details that we might not have even noticed before. What is this space I am living in? Does it give me security? Does it make me feel good? Am I with the people I really value? We need to look at our relationships too. Who are the most important people for us to be connected to? People needed another way of living, and they often didn't realize they needed to connect in another way, enjoying life and getting around. We observed the Internet of Things, the global connection expanded, and more people using the internet for more and more hours, and also for more activities. There were also changes that were happening. We discovered new hobbies. We had more contact with nature. We sought more open environments. All of this has transformed the way of living and transformed people too. People need to transform their domestic environments. If before we welcome people into our homes, for those who have a backyard, a garden, a balcony, they transform these environments to have the possibility of receiving people at home, but in an external environment, a natural environment, a more open environment. With the challenge of the pandemic, we are observing an increase in the stress and burnout levels. We are observing an increase on mental issues starting in young kids. How can we contribute to building smart environments and happy citizens? At Abayomi, we work with the Abayomi methodology, which is a methodology that is still under development. We apply that in the studies of any physical space that we analyze. And we like to reinforce that the smart and happy environment is for everyone. The first step is to identify who are the people who inhabit this space, who are the people who live there. So the citizen is at the center of everything, at the center of the environment. Then we will look at this environment, what this environment is, what is the physical environment and the digital environment that these people use, how this environment is, how it is managed. One of the dimensions of the Abayomi methodology is innovative management. Who takes care of this environment? How does communication happen in this space? How is the human relationship within this environment? With the people who live there, with the people who work there, with the people who are even temporarily in this environment. We also look at the issues of promoting health and well-being from this environment. With this study, we analyze the intelligence and the happiness of the environment, starting with a deeper knowledge of it, of the build space, the types of technology used, the design, the accessibility, the mobility. All these elements are included in the study. And from then on, we will analyze the results in order to arrive at solutions for management, or architecture, or interior design, space planning, education, communication. Based on this experience that we have been developing at Abayomi, we selected 10 attitudes to present today to contribute to the promotion of smart and happy environments. Among these 10 attitudes, the first one is self and situational awareness. Who am I? Who are the people who live with me? What is this environment that I use? I need to know my house, my neighborhood, and my city. Do you know when you leave home, which environment are you going to? Which environment you are walking through? How much do you know about your street? What elements can you identify in it? We need to know so that we can understand what change this environment needs, so that we can understand what change will be needed in this space. The second attitude we bring is the connection with nature. We need to observe what nature we have around us. How is nature close to where we live? How can I be connected with this nature? How can I bring nature closer to me, into my home, into my work environment? How can I take advantage of this nature, whether for sporting activities or for a hobby, or to use it as a work or leisure environment? So let's connect with nature, because this connection is one of the elements that help us to be happier, and it's also important for our health and well-being. The third attitude is to know what are the necessary spaces in my house for everyone in the family. If you already know who the people who live with us are, if you already know what these people's needs are, We need to understand what spaces they need. They need an environment to study for their online classes, a space where it has to have silence. Do they need a home office environment to hold their meetings? Need an environment for those household activities? Need an environment to play music? What environments are these, and how can we relate to all these environments and manage the time of use them? How can we help promote happiness by making a smart use of this space we have? The fourth attitude is to understand that good technology is the technology that suits us and not the technology that we have to use just because it is fashion. So, what is the technology that will serve us, that will make our lives easier, that will make everyone's life at home or at work better, and that will help us feel good, that will bring a little more comfort and tranquility? This is the technology we have to look for. Is it a driverless car that will help me to better develop my activities? Is a house with solar energy going to help improve my financial situation besides contributing to the sustainability of the planet? Or do I need to have more accessibility within my own home for everyone who lives there? What is this technology that will really serve me and everyone in my house? The fifth attitude we bring is in relation to the digital space. Use the digital space in your favor and not against you. What is a digital space in your favor? It is using the digital space for you to make an interesting network, for you to connect with people from your professional area, people who will bring other connections in your work field. The digital space helps to reduce distances with people in your family, with your friends, with your work environment. Use the digital space to promote positive business, grow your business, and generate income. Use this digital space also to expand your knowledge and use it smartly. Be a smart citizen to be able to make use of this digital space and don't let this digital space simply dominate you and tell you what you are going to do. On the contrary, you have to guide and say what you want this digital space for, how best to use it. The sixth attitude is to understand what relationships we have in this environment where we live. It could be our home, work, or other environments. Who are the people we related to? Who are these people who are contributing to our well being or not? That we could be really more focused on the quality of these relationships than on the quantity. The seventh attitude is to observe the space to promote your physical and mental health. How do this environment you attend help promote health? They must be helping you to carry out your physical activities, eat in a healthy way, that you have the space or the possibility to carry out the services and activities you want to carry out with hygiene, safety, and comfort. Here we talk about environment comfort and personal comfort too. That you can in this environment provide a good mood that brings you that feeling of well-being, that you can rest and have a comfortable environment to recharge your energies. This is an environment that promotes physical and mental health. The eighth attitude is related to leisure, tourism, and services. What options do you have near you? If in the 2020 we had to stay close at home, we could no longer be traveling far away, and for some places we still cannot yet. In these last 2 years, we had to stay close to home. That we can have the possibility of doing our urban activities walking in a short circuit, being able to carry out these leisure activities to discover new places near our home or work, that we can perform the services we need, going to the bank, to the post office, to the bakery, meeting our friends, so that we can enjoy what our neighborhood has to offer. The ninth attitude is related to safety, security in all areas. Let's look at these environments that we are going to, that we live in, if they really help to promote security, if they offer the security we need. Security in relation to our human relationships at home, in the work environment, in the transportation areas from one place to another. Do we feel safe with these people who lived with us? If not, we need to understand and act to be safe. Do we have the technology to help with our security? How is the security of the digital space? We talked a little while ago about digital space, connecting with people, doing business. So it is necessary to have internet security for this business, this relationship, and this movement in the digital space. Financial security for being able to make the best use of money, of our finances in this environment, but also that the environment helps to promote and favor our finances. Public safety is needed everywhere. And health safety. We have discussed a lot since last year these issues of environment helping to preserve our health, to take care of our health. How are the environments we go to really helping to take care of our health? And the 10th attitude to promote this smart and happy environment is a call to ourselves. We are responsible for creating these environments, and we are responsible collectively. Each one of us is responsible for knowing what we need, knowing what others need, and we are responsible for together joining hands to transform these environments. And I end my speech by thanking you for the opportunity to be here, bringing some of our work to you. And I would like to end with this sentence. Each one of us is responsible and transforming agents in the environments where we live. We need to act to create smart and happy environments. The city we want has to be a collective construction. We can only be fully happy in the collective. Thank you. Thank you for watching my presentation. I will wait for your contribution, for your thoughts, for your comments. Let's use this space to connect to each other and to interchange our experience. I hope you enjoy the rest of the summit. We have the month to continue watching these interesting presentations. Thank you.